Afternoon. Welcome to the June 23rd session of the Sac Metropolitan Fire District Executive Committee meeting. We're going to call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers?
There are no speakers this evening.
No speakers. Okay, then I think what we'll do is, any questions about the consent agenda?
None at all, but I'll move it.
Thank you very much. I'll second it. Could we call for that question?
Director Wood.
Aye.
And Scheidegger.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Wonderful. With no further ado, why don't we adjourn to closed session? Would you report out for us, please?
Yes, Director Scheidegger. The Executive Committee met in closed session this afternoon to discuss issues related to the fire chief selection process. No final action was taken.
Thank you very much. There being nothing before us, at this point, we will adjourn the Executive Committee meeting. Thank you. And now, we'll take a break.
5-minute break.
Gentlemen, let's call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask Director Clark to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Director Clark.
You're welcome. Mr. Chairman,
Metro Cable announcement. The open session meeting is videotaped for cablecast on Metro Cable 14. Replay on Sunday, January 26, 2016 at 12 noon and Monday, June 26, 2016 at 12 noon on Channel 14. Webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. The open session meetings are also available for viewing on the district website at www.metrofire.ca.gov. Madam Clerk, do we have any public speakers?
There are no speakers this evening.
All right, thank you very much. Then let's move ahead. Are there any questions on the consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I would move approval of the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you all. Could we call for the vote, please?
Director Mitchell.
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Orzali.
aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
And Scheidegger.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Action items, resolution amending fire fee schedule for fire and life safety inspections. Chief Constantini, how are you?
Good evening, President Scheidegger, Board of Directors, and Fire Chief Wells. Greg Cassantini, Assistant Chief Fire Marshal in the CRD Division. Tonight, I am here to present Resolution Number 2016-061, which will amend the fee schedule for permits, general fire and life safety inspections, and other miscellaneous services provided by the district. In January 2015, Ordinance Number 2015-02 was adopted to amend the district's fee schedule for permits, plan checking, inspections, and miscellaneous services, primarily to implement plan review and construction inspection fee increase based on the 2013 NBS fee study and effective on July 1st of 2015, 16, and 17. Under Section 4, future fee increases of Ordinance 2015-02, it states that at the direction of the Finance Division and with approval by the Board of Directors, fees may be adjusted annually beginning March 1st, 2016, and each March 1st thereafter, based on the change in the Consumer Price Index, also known as the CPI-U, based out of San Francisco-Oakland and San Jose region. Approval by the Board of Directors shall be by resolution adopted at regularly scheduled meeting of the board prior to enactment of the increase. The inspections associated with the recommended 2.6 CPI increase are two types of inspections. Facilities with increased hazards, which are known as permit to operate, and the second one being mandated occupancy inspections. Facilities with increased hazards include a wide range of facilities from cutting and welding facilities to fumigation, combustible and hazardous storage facilities. Mandated occupancy inspections range from commercial, daycare, schools, and multi-residential to business inspections. Additionally, the CPI increase would also apply to miscellaneous services as identified in the fee schedule. It is anticipated that an updated fee study would be conducted within the next year and would likely identify fee increases as a result of increased district costs since 2013. Implementing the CPI increases in the years between fee studies allows for fees to be more gradually kept in pace with cost escalation, therefore minimizing the increases identified a result of a fee study updates. Additionally, implementation of the CPI increases would result in improved cost recovery during the intervening years. In closing, along with the increase of fees has come increased efficiency, customer service, and cost savings to the district within the CRD budget division. With the 2016 and 17 budget, we will add personnel, including a deputy fire marshal position, along with our own Metro Plan Intake Specialist downtown at the building department. This position will afford Metro to monitor and improve quality control with our plan intake and review services at a reduced rate compared to our previous contract rate. Staff recommends to the board to consider the adoption of a resolution amending the fee schedule based on the applicable CPI increase of 2.6%. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief. Questions? Director Wood?
Hey, Chief, appreciate the work you and your staff did on this. Thank you for that. Over the last year, we've heard a lot from the business community about these fees. What has been done, although I know one of the compromises, one of the discussions that we had last year or so ago when we passed this was the automatic increase. But have we done anything to let them know that we'd be actually going through with this automatic increase? Has there been any notice or advice given out to the business community?
Yeah, that's a good question. We've posted a notice at our front counter, and I've noticed in the last 6 months that I've been here that my phone calls coming in from the concerned public have dramatically dropped off regarding the fees and the assessments on that. Going back the last 24 months, the division did a lot of public outreach and education regarding the fees, and they were well attended at first, and then that dramatically dropped off as well. So we have not really seen a big concern from the public and the community members coming in because we're 3 years into this cycle now. So I think it's become a little more accepted, and that's about it as far as our outreach for that.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Director Gould?
Chief, thank you very much. My impression is you said that in the 16-17 budget, there's positions that have been allocated for efficiencies.
Correct.
And so it sounds to me like part of this 2.6 increase will actually result in less time, particularly in plan check, because I think we're all sensitive to plan check review timelines. And so it's, I think, what I'm hearing you say is one of the goals of your division is that with these increases and additional personnel, the plan check timelines can be shortened, because I know that a lot of our building and trades folks, time is money, and plan check review and those kind of things is a significant issue. And so it sounds to me like that's your impression, is that as we finalize this fee increase tonight, that will translate into the upcoming budget to more efficiencies with increased staff?
Yes, Director, that's a good comment there. Reducing the time for plan check is a big, important part of our workload. We have a lot of new inspectors that we need to train up to that level, and that's a 2-year process. So 3 or 4 of our personnel are about 1 year into that process. We currently do contract out with a company as Interwest, and our turnaround is about 10 days for that. We eventually want to move all the plan check back into our division. So that's going to need a couple things. Training our crew, creating the right facility and space use for that. But also, having these new positions is going to absolutely increase that time, or, decrease that time load, because that is one of the comments that we get most is, when can I get my plans done? And that's a big, important part of that, because time is money. And so increasing that efficiency will assist with the deputy fire marshal position and also the downtown plan intake. So that is absolutely part of our plan.
Good. Because I'd imagine that this 2.6 and the CPI, that, they all understand that. And if it results in them getting their plans in an earlier timeline, I don't think that this is gonna cause them chest pain. It's how fast can I get my plans back so I can keep my project moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the fee increase, you're looking at between $5 and $10 an inspection and some of the plan review stuff, so it's not a considerable amount. One of the things that I've tried to actively do is educate our business community and some of the big developers that Metro is business friendly, and we will do absolutely everything we can to move their project along with meeting the fire and life safety code requirements. So they've been, it's been received well, and we try to move these along as fast as possible.
Thank you.
Director Rosali.
Directors, and let me check with Melissa first. This amended copy is in everyone's packet, or is it just in mine?
It was in yours, and I can email it to everyone if that is the case.
that
Or
would be-
or you can just remind them of the new total that's down at the bottom.
That's fine. You probably saw the last time, this was a memo I sent out regarding a gentleman who had contacted us about fees and the impact of our decisions have on the community, particularly small business community. There's a chart on there, and it shows that for last year, if I have this, it's $825,000 that we collected for all the fees in total. And this fee increase that we're reviewing tonight would raise that amount. Point being, this gentleman's comment about us being cognizant of the impact that fees have is an important piece. So too is our outreach to the community in making business leaders and community leaders in particular aware that these things are being considered and inviting their input. With the level of communication we have available to us, we can pretty easily do that, and we know who the primary players are, and we could ask them for their input and also ask them to help other members of the business community understand. So fees are a concern in the community, and I'm just anxious that we be aware of that part of these decisions. So, thank you.
Director Kelly.
Fire Marshal Castantini, thank you for your presentation. One of the questions that I had, hearing you mention that the decrease in concern from the community, your phone is not ringing anymore. Do you think that's due to the fact that we're not asking people to self-inspect and charging them a fee for that anymore?
That's a really good question.
Has that program been scrapped completely?
Yes, sir, it has.
Okay.
People voice their concern that if they're going to pay a fee, they want a professional inspection.
Right.
So that was a one-year deal, and we went back to the professional inspections along with our company inspections and our fire investigators and inspectors as well.
Great, thank you.
Good question.
Yeah.
President?
Director Gould.
Thank you. And I want, we've got this note that came from a concerned citizen talking about paying a fee for a 15-minute visit. I think it's important for the community to understand that when our staff come out for these inspections, they're on the ground in the room. Inspection may take somewhere in that timeline, but there's a lot of back office work that's being done, and that crew go back and have to input this material and that data. And so when these fees were established and that was provided to us by consultants, they look down to everything that touched these inspections, and that's really where the fee comes in. I don't want the public to get the idea that the fee is a direct connection to how long the fire crews stay in the building. There's so much more that goes on that's part of this process to maintain the safety in our community. And so it's not like we're charging for only the minutes that the firefighter is standing in the building. There's a lot of additional fees. And so when I see stuff like this, I think it's a great an opportunity for us to continue to educate the community that fee is not associated just with that one 15-minute or 20-minute visit, that there's so much more that goes on. And so I just think it's important that they understand that. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Any other questions or comments? Director Wood?
Mr. Chair, I'll go ahead and move that we adopt the recommendation.
The resolution, thank you. Moved
Resolution.
and seconded. Call for the vote.
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould,
Aye.
Orzali,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Jones, and Scheidegger.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 2 is going to be moved back after closed session, so we'll suspend that for now. So we'll go on to reports. President's report, nothing to report. Fire Chief's report. Chief Wells.
Well, good evening, directors. I would like to announce, and I know we've talked about it in the budget process, but we will be opening Engine 1006 effective on the 1st of July. It is to fully complement the staffing at that fire station. As you know, we've had a truck company at Station 106, and we are now going to be fully staffing the engine as well on a 24/7, 365 basis. So we are very excited about that, and we will be having a follow-up open house type of venue after the 4th of July season, as it's a very busy time for the fire suppression industry. And so more to come on that, and we'll be fully advising the board of directors somewhere a week or so after the 1st of July. So excited about that. These are meetings and events that I've attended. On the 13th, we had actually the Single Role Paramedic Academy started, 16-2. It started with 16 recruits. On the 16th of June, we had the Sacramento County Fire Chiefs meeting. We are the chair of that committee this year, and it's actually a great opportunity. The regional fire chiefs get together and talk about all the different issues, all the way down operations, EMS, et cetera. And the Metro Fire team leads each one of those committees. We had a good meet and confer meeting with Local 522 as it relates to the tentative agreement language incorporation into the existing MOUs. And so that meeting was on the 21st, and we have follow-up meetings scheduled into the future on that. I would like to thank Fire Marshal Greg Casantini, who participated in the Fireworks Task Force press conference yesterday. Of course, we have the fireworks season coming up, and obviously a great time to celebrate our heritage as Americans. I would urge, though, to be safe, and we use fireworks that are legal in a manner that is described and prescribed on the package. We are very cognizant of this time of year. It is dry. It's not a drought-related issue necessarily. The grass is dry every year during July. And I urge the citizens out there to celebrate and in a responsible manner, and to even the legal fireworks need to be utilized in a manner so that they are a celebration and do not lead to something else if they're used improperly. We had a great meeting yesterday, ongoing discussions with the County of Sacramento and the U.S. Coast Guard as it relates to our ARF presence out at the McClellan Air Force Base in support of the Coast Guard mission. Further follow-on negotiations to follow, but it was a good, productive meeting. And this morning, myself and Chief Bridge had the opportunity to attend the Citrus Heights Police Department 10-year anniversary celebration. swearing in and award ceremony. They're a class operation. You know, we have the fortunate opportunity to work with all of our law enforcement partners are absolutely top of the game. But City of Citrus Heights law enforcement, they had a great celebration today. They've been a police department for 10 years. And very well done, and we enjoyed being part of that. We have a town hall meeting scheduled next week on the 30th of June. It's that opportunity that we get to have dialogue with our crews. We have a live audience of on-duty crews, and then we broadcast it out. And so we entertain all dialogue back and forth, and we try to answer the questions that might come up in the field face-to-face, so we eliminate rumors and give actionable information. Save the date for July. On July 8th will be the 16-1 Fire Academy graduation. It'll be at the Fair Oaks Presbyterian Church at 6 p.m. Looking forward to that. Fire camp, of course, is a great opportunity for our youth and our community to see what the fire service is about. I know Brenda Briggs and her crew that puts that on does a tremendous amount of work that is greatly valued in our community, and that is on the 12th through the 15th of July. On the 27th of July, there will be the single role paramedic 16-2 Academy graduation. That'll be at the Citrus Heights Community Center at 6 p.m. It's with great pleasure tonight to acknowledge the retirement of firefighter Jeff Wells of 26 years of service, and that was on the 4th of June. And our facilities supervisor, Steve Borglund, retired after 8 years of service, and that was on the 18th of June. And effective tomorrow, we're pleased to announce that we're going to be promoting Assistant Chief Chris Quinn to the A shift operations, Battalion Chief Tyler Wagaman, and Captain Adrian Watson. So more of our personnel moving up in the chain, and really glad to see that. And on the 1st of July, our Deputy Fire Marshal will be Lisa Barsdale. So long-term, hardworking Community Risk Reduction Division, moving into more of a formal leadership position under the fire marshals. We're looking forward to that. And recruitment, we have our fire mechanic final filing date is the 15th of July by 4 p.m. And our fire inspector 1 final filing date is the 8th of July at 4 p.m. So if there aren't any further questions, that concludes my report.
Questions? Thank you, Chief Wells. Thank you. Operations report, Chief Bridge.
Good evening, President Scheidegger, board members, Eric Bridge, Operations Chief. And tonight I could give you the same numbers as I always give you. It seems like Groundhog Day sometimes. But we are doing the same numbers. We are running about 3,700 calls per board meeting to board meeting. And we're transporting about 74% of our EMS dispatches. And our good partners at AMR are helping us out since the last board meeting. Have had 135 dispatches with 92 transports. But in addition to that, I also wanted to remind you, let you know that as we participate in the Master Mutual Aid in the state of California, we recently sent one of our engines along with our regional partners down to San Diego at the Borders Fire. They've been gone since Monday and been doing good work down there. So more fires are starting. It's that time of year, and I'm assuming we'll be sending a lot more out here before it's too long. So without any other questions, I am happy to answer them for you if you have any.
Questions?
Chief, did we see the helicopter be utilized in a recent fire along the American River Parkway?
Remember that was a couple days ago. Yes, they were being used on the Cal Expo fire.
And isn't that one of the primary reasons we have that tool?
Yes, it does fantastic work.
Okay, I just needed confirmation for all the helicopter haters.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think
This was confirming.
I think we're gaining more supporters out there, especially regionally, because we're all finding helpful.
I just checking.
They do great work.
Good question, Director Gould. I think that's it, Chief Briggs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
General Counsel's report?
No report.
Thank you. 522. Good to see you, John.
Good evening, Board. Chief Wells, staff, John Barsdale, Director of Local 522. I don't really have too much tonight other than I hope to see all you guys at the Firefighter Burn Is Due Gala. And that's all I have to report. If you have any questions, go ahead.
Questions? Thank you,
All
John.
right, thank you.
All right, committee delegate reports. Executive committee. The executive committee met this evening with our recruiter consultant regarding the fire chief selection, and that process will continue. More to come on that. Communications Center, JPA, Chief Bridge.
Yeah, the Communications Center Board has not met since our last board meeting. We will meet here this Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you. California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA, Director Kelly.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the JPA met. We went over our budget. Chief Gear is once again at the helm of the organization, and we are anticipating losing the anchor around our neck, which is the Tech Center Drive property, which once that's done, we'll be all very happy, I think. The deficit in our budget is basically equal to what we will be paying that landlord for that property this year.
Corollary. Very good. Thank you, Director Kelly. Finance Committee, Director Wood.
Yeah, good, thank you, Mr. Chair, good afternoon. The Finance and Audit Committee has not met since we last reported out. We meet again on July 28th at 5 o'clock in this room.
All right, thank you. Director Gould, the Policy Committee.
Policy Committee will be meeting on July 14th at 5 o'clock.
We'll look forward to that. Thank you. Board member questions and comments. Director Jones.
First out of the gate, as always. Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it. All right.
And foremost.
Needless. Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to attending the Tropical Affair, the Burn Institute fundraiser. It's this Saturday. Contact the Burn Institute for tickets. Cheaper if you get them now as opposed to at the door. It's always been a very classy affair, very well attended, well done. I think Director Woods will weigh in on that as well. It's a very, very good event for an extremely worthwhile cause. Thank you for all the information about the upcoming graduations and town halls. I'll make every effort to attend as many as I can.
Thank you, Director Jones. Director Kelly.
Yes, I just wanted to reiterate, as I have before, if you smoke cigarettes and you're in your car, I believe it is illegal to throw that cigarette out the window. And so I would encourage all the people that I seem to find doing that on a regular basis to really be cognizant of the fact that just a little wind or even the force created by a car driving by it could drive that cigarette into dry grass, whether it be in the median or in somebody's yard. And it is an extreme fire hazard, and I would encourage people that smoke to recognize that and refrain from throwing those out the window.
Thank you for that statement of caution. Director Clark.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm happy to come back. I missed the last meeting because I had a eye surgery, and some of you are familiar with that when I first came here. And I'm just happy to get that affair behind me. I'm also very excited about Station 106, getting that engine. It's time. We've been waiting for that for a while. So thank you, Chief, and I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you, Director Clark. Director Orzali.
I'd just like to take a moment to talk about an event that occurred earlier this week where a young man that I'd known for a long time made the decision to take his own life. And I wanted to emphasize to people, if you see someone who seems to be in trouble, do something, reach out. And if you are that person, there's help available. So just be advised, this is something that is often described as the permanent solution to a temporary situation. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to publicly thank the engine and ambulance crew that transported my wife to the ER on Saturday. It was at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was woken in Southern California in my hotel room, and FaceTime is an evil tool. when it comes to those kinds of situations. So I'm not sure who the medic and engine company were, but I'd like to publicly thank them for taking such good care of my boss. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Dr. Gould. I hope things are going okay. Director Mitchell.
Thank you, Director. Like to thank our retirees that spend an enormous amount of time of their lives with this organization, and every time we see these people that leave, we lose an enormous amount of talent. I remember with great fondness reading a book by Lee Iacocca, who said these people that when they retire, he said, we're losing our knowledge base. He said, we don't need to lose them. We need to keep them. Unfortunately, in our line of work, they retire a little earlier, but we lose an enormous amount of talent when they leave. So congratulations to those two. To the promotions, I have a great fondness for two of those people that Chief Wells told us about today, because maybe I'm going to be telling you of my, I hate to say age, but say of my years of experience. I can remember one of those young men, Mr. Wagaman, working for me as an ROP student. And I can also remember a gentleman that's going to the assistant chief working for me as a rookie firefighter. So that seemed like yesterday, but it's many years ago. So those are fine young men, and I think will be a great talent to our organization. So thank you for telling us about that this evening, Chief. As to my learned colleague to my left, the comment about the helicopter, I would share with all of you, it's a magnificent tool. And I say that because of my interest in turbine engines, which operates our helicopter. But it's a magnificent tool used in the proper way. And I'm sure that those people on the ground, when they feel that cool water, there's a good indication of thank you. So it's an expensive tool. It's an important tool. And to be used with caution, anytime we put people 300, 400, 500, 600 feet, 1,000 feet in the air, it's a dangerous job. But it's a great asset for this department, and I'm one that thinks that this is a large enough department that we can have equipment like that, and we thank the people in this organization that first of all instilled that with us, and the administration that today keeps it flying. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Wood.
Yes, I want to thank the Rancho Cordova Chamber of Commerce and the Sacramento Vintage Ford, who hosted a reception for Rancho Cordova officials. Gay Jones was there with me. We got to hang out with Ami Berra and the City Council for Rancho Cordova, and it was a wonderful event. So thanks to them for that. Thank you, Chief, and your staff for getting 106 open. It's great to be fully staffed now with all of our engines back open from where we were a few years ago. It's a great sign. And one last thing, if you'll all indulge me in a little something that happened to me today, that we hear a lot about the character of our men and women that work for Metro. And Michelle Item and the PIO, the Information Department, they do a great job getting words out when we're pulling animals out of the slough or something. But every day our people are doing something. And I stumbled on something this morning at 6:45 when I was leaving my neighborhood. And I was coming up to Douglas to head out. This little Volkswagen Bug does a U-turn right in front of me. And I'm thinking, you're lucky there wasn't the cop, because Rancho PD's been on Douglas a lot lately. But it turns out, as I pull up next to it, it's Brenda Briggs. And I look over at her and I said, nice U-turn. And she mentions that she was trying to turn around and go get a rabbit that was in the middle of the roadway that was disabled. And she went back, saw the rabbit, went back, got it, ultimately told me later on that she was able to get the rabbit off the roadway and off to safety. And I mentioned to her, I said, she's a very good soul, because most of us wouldn't even notice the rabbit in the roadway, let alone take time out of our day to stop and help that creature. So it's just another example of what our men and women do every day without getting recognition. So I was very proud to see Brenda.
Thank you, Director. I'm not sure Brenda's going to appreciate when you get that ticket in the mail, but nice comment. I want to mention one quick thing in passing. In our packages tonight, we received a letter from a citizen in Sac Metro, Kristen Dingman, who writes about the fire camp and the wonderful experience that her son had. And this is coming up, and I want the community to be well aware of this fire camp. And again, it's a wonderful tribute to Sac Metro and our staff and the fine work they put in on this. This is great. We get these letters all the time of people expressing their appreciation for our people and their fine work. But I thought it was particularly taken by the fact that she was so taken with her son's participation that she contributed $100 even though her son can't go, so that some other kid could participate. And I just think that's a wonderful gesture and should be noted to our community. Anyway, thank you all for a good meeting. We're going to recess to closed session. Invite all the participants to go enjoy their evening, and the rest of us will go to closed session. Thank you. Ask Council Lawver to report out, please.
Thank you.